Welcome again to this week's episode of LdnOnt TV here on Rogers TV. I am your host, Bronagh Morgan. I am involved in a lot of things in the community. So I wear a lot of hats, I wear a lot of shoes, I wear a lot of suits, I wear, a lot of sneakers. One of the things I've been involved with recently is painting a mural. And I'm painting a mural at a beautiful new office for an organization that you're going to want to know about. The organization is called Beacon House. It hasn't opened yet here in London, but we're pretty close. You may have heard about the Beacon House in the news recently. I know there's been a couple of press releases put out. It's been in the media because since I started working on this mural in the office, a lot of people have been coming up to me and saying, I heard about the Beacon House. So if you haven't heard about the Beacon House, you're in for a very informative half hour tonight. So welcoming to the show two guests talking about the Beacon House as well as why it's important. Catherine Dan from London Police Service, as well as Tuin Jajal from the London Family Court Clinic. So welcome to the show and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you very much for having us. This is wonderful.
Yeah, so the Beacon, I didn't say that you're from the Beacon House, but you're both involved with the Beacon House. So tell me about what it is, what your role is, and why is it so important?
So I guess I'll start with my role. So I am in charge of the London Police Service Sexual Assault and Child Abuse section. So my section handles all cases of physical and sexual abuse of children. So this project kind of started a couple of years ago, discussions about it, but we really moved forward on it over the last year or so, I would say.
About the last year, that's true. It unfortunately with COVID and everything that took place with COVID, it lost a little momentum and steam, but our collaborators are back and we're so excited to be partnering with Catherine and her team over at LPS as well as St. Joe's and CAS. So it's a really fantastic opportunity for us to leverage what Catherine and her team do at LPS in the child abuse section to really build Beacon House to be truly a beacon for wellness and community for children and victims of abuse. So absolutely exciting.
All right, so the Beacon House is intended as kind of a safe space and kind of a full service, like a place that anybody, young people who have been involved with, any kind of crime, any kind of abuse in their lives, have experienced this, will be served by everybody that they could potentially be served by in this one place, and they won't have to continually be repeating their story and maybe being re-traumatized by having to tell their story to multiple different professionals. So talk to me about what the Beacon House experience is intended to look like for young people.
Well, it's a great question. Thank you for asking it. So it really begins with Catherine's team. So that referral into Beacon House is where it all begins. So it is very true that bringing everyone under one roof is really the fulcrum of everything. To stop those children and stop those victims from telling that story multiple times, which creates that traumatizing experience again and again. Part of it is also decreasing wait time in the system. Taking that opportunity to say you don't have to wait 2 months, 3 months, or even longer to have that treatment or have that process begin for you. So it's really an opportunity to not only streamline the process, but to see those victims and allow them to focus on healing and have us be those system navigators for them. So the process is really about the initial intake with Catherine's team, and she speaks far more intelligently than I would about what police services does in that process. But when it comes into the Beacon House, the process is really to have an advocate joined with the child and family right in the beginning. So there's no waiting. So you have someone who is well trained and well versed in not only system and community resources, but individuals who are well trained in identifying that trauma lens. So viewing it through a lens which helps that child get through that process initially and then connecting them to those community services. So it's not just about us collaborating, which is been wonderful over
has,
the past, 9 to 11 months, but it's really about connecting with the community and driving that care and focusing on that human at the end of it. And I think that's something that people forget, is that at the end of everything, there's a victim. So we need to focus on getting them through the system, letting them focus on the healing process.
Yeah, and I think one of our big goals is just to create a safe and welcoming and child-friendly space that the children and their families can come to when they have to tell the story about a horrible thing that happened to them. Because as we know, coming into a police station can be scary and intimidating for an adult. So imagine a child having to go to a police station and tell the story about what happened to them. So we really focused on creating a warm and welcoming environment. And as Tuan said, the kind of unique aspect of the Beacon House is the role of the advocate to make sure that family has immediate support from someone that can explain the process to them and be there with them through the reporting process, and to fill in those gaps that they may have to wait to get into long-term supports. We can refer them to different community partners to get short-term solutions while they're waiting for that long-term support.
So when you say children and their family, it sounds like this is kind of wraparound care. So like you're looking at the child like that has been victimized by whatever has happened, but also the situation, because they have a caregiver, they have a mom, they have a dad, they have people that they live with, they have people that are looking after them. So I guess it's bringing all of that, focusing on the whole situation that the child is in.
Yeah, absolutely. Like disclosure of childhood abuse is devastating for anyone that cares about the child, obviously. So we really want to build that resiliency in the child, but also strengthen the family unit, because the child needs to go back to a family that has the capability of supporting them through the healing process. So it's really working with the family to make sure not only is the child supported, but the family is strengthened as well.
Yeah, and that's, it's a really excellent point. And one of the things at the Family Court Clinic that we do is we focus also on that family unit, doing parenting plans and looking at it holistically to say, what is really, to your point, what does that wraparound service really look like? And are we doing the right things at the right time? Because I think it's really important to be timely in our capacity to create care and to be supportive of that particular family unit. So it really builds on our capacity within the court system, having that experience to really draw and leverage on our experts as well to say, are we doing those right things? And if we are doing the right things, how do we create long-term, really positive effects on the family? Because evidence tells us that early intervention and strong interventions create longer and better outcomes.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's a pretty easy sell, like preventing, long-term trauma and dealing with these issues in childhood, like as soon as they come up, is obviously a better solution than letting it. And I guess that's the whole concept of the Beacon House, isn't it?
Yeah. It really is. We want people to understand that it's a service that has been waiting. Part of the conversations that I'm having from people that I work with on a daily basis is, thank goodness, wow, this is great. Isn't it amazing that we're finally here? And it's so wonderful to hear that this is something that people have been waiting for so long. So there's so much support out there. So when our doors open, we know that it's not just about taking care of those children, of that children and family unit, but it's also knowing that we have all of the support from all of our other, key collaborators and other agencies that have just been waiting for this to take place. So, having Catherine and CAS and St. Joe's at the table and focusing on making this happen has been probably one of the most fulfilling parts of my career, for sure. It's
I would say the same for me as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just such a great feeling to know that this is something that when you have like-minded people aiming towards the same mission and same values, it's just been so fulfilling. So we can't really wait to get this out to the community and for people to see what we're really doing for these children and families.
Wonderful. Okay, we're going to have to take a short break, and we're going to hear more about, who's at the Beacon House, who are children going to be seeing when they go to the Beacon House, the whole process, and how people who are maybe watching tonight and would like to support the organization and support the great work you're doing can get involved. So please stay with us, and we'll be right back after this break.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Carbon monoxide is a deadly gas you can't see, smell, or taste.
Homes with fuel-burning appliances and/or attached garages must have working CO alarms installed outside all sleeping areas.
Don't let the silent killer get you. Install working CO alarms today.
Night's action on Rogers TV.
All I wanted was to see a movie. One down, please.
I can't sell downstairs tickets to you people.
How dare they? I could afford to buy the more expensive ticket. I run my own business. But they refuse to take my money. They left me there all night. On what charge? They said I didn't pay the theater tax. But it was really about color.
Sister Desmond, appeal this conviction and your community will stand behind you.
Do you have any idea what this will do to us?
So what are you going to do? Make it right.
Viola Desmond's case inspired Nova Scotia's civil rights movement. She was pardoned 63 years later based on the injustice of her conviction.
You're watching Rogers TV.
Welcome back to LdnOnt TV here on Rogers TV. I am your host, Bronagh, and I've been speaking to Catherine and Tuan, who are both coming together, like a lot of community organizations are coming together for this fantastic new organization called the Beacon House. So, Catherine, maybe you can start with, what does it look like for, when a child or, a child comes in with their family to make a report of a crime, and how that whole referral process would work?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we talk about a multidisciplinary team on site, a lot of people picture, a child sitting at a table with 4 people surrounding them, staring at them while they tell their story. That's not the case. We have the Beacon House set up with 2 interview rooms, and the child will be interviewed by one person, but the other people that are there to also take part in the investigation can have the ability to watch and listen to the interview. So the people that are normally involved would be the Children's Aid Society, police. We may have to bring in a medical expert, as well as the advocate that's there for the supports. So really our goal is just to minimize the amount of times that the child has to tell their story. Because right now they may, disclose to a teacher, who then discloses to a principal, and then they have to talk to a counselor, and then they call the Children's Aid Society and have to talk to them, and then they have to talk to the police. So we really want to have one place where everybody can meet the child and their family, so that they only have to tell their story once, because we certainly don't want to re-traumatize them by them having to tell it over and over again. So the Beacon House is just, like I said, a safe and welcoming space where the child can come in. There's going to be a waiting room that has your mural that's bright and beautiful, with some sensory toys that the children can calm down with and things like that. So we're really being mindful of making a space that's going to reduce anxiety and just help them through. We really just want to help them through the reporting process. And then Tuan can obviously speak to kind of the supports available through the Land and Family Court Clinic.
Yeah, and so what Catherine's really talking about when they come in, when they're welcomed, is having that space that is safe, and it lets them recognize that it's about them. So it's very important that, when they come into that space, that when they're going through that interview process and connecting with an advocate right away, that they have an opportunity to take that breath. And I think that's sometimes what's missing in the system. So when we have this sort of space, and by the way, thank you so much for this beautiful mural that you're doing.
Oh,
It's wonderful.
I'm just like the 4-person. It's been like, I've had teens, I've had seniors, I've had so much support, because I think, like, as soon as I tell people about what the mission is as well, people want to get involved.
They really do, and that's part of the welcoming piece of it, is to have people like yourself, and we've had another muralist come in and do a second mural, is that people want to be part of it. And I think when you walk into the space, you can feel that energy, that it's really been a collaborative effort between people who want to do something. So when they come in and meet their advocate and have that interview, it is true that the family court clinic, we have access to many different types of counselors and therapists who, once we do that initial evaluation, we can make a determination on what would work best for the family. Is it a parenting plan? Is it a specific type of counseling or type of therapy that we're going to connect them with? Is it us at the court clinic who are going to do it, or is it one of our collaborators within the community at a different agency? So it really is, like Catherine said, an opportunity to be in one place but have access to everything. So for us, it's meaningful because it's intake all the way through to output. So you can see it happening. So it's not like we're disconnecting from the family and letting something else happen. It's connection to them from the beginning right through to the end. So it's just been probably, like I said, one of the most fulfilling things, but for so many different reasons. Not just, we're creating something wonderful. It's about really watching that healing process take place in a space that's built to help navigate through that healing process. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy of we're here to help, and we're watching that help take place. So I couldn't be happier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really the justice system, the way it's supposed to work. Coming from a law background as well. I don't know if you guys knew that I was a lawyer as well. Another one of my.
You do wear many hats.
Right, right. But that is one of the things that my colleagues, my peers from law school who have worked in the criminal system are always if there are so many people that are here that if somebody could have helped them when they were younger, they never would have gotten to this point in their life. And this is kind of like seeing that dream
because
turn into reality.
It's true. And with Catherine's team, it's pre-charge. So, charges may not have been laid yet. So once they are laid, we have another program at the Family Court Clinic that can help people through that process of child witness preparation. So, and that is one process that's near and dear to my heart. And also we have a service dog which works within that program, Wiser, and she's been a fabulous addition because we hope to have another service dog for the Beacon House as well. But we have those experts who already know. So the implementation and the call to action to do those things is really where at the point we are now. So it's just been, again, you can tell I'm quite excited about it.
Yeah, we're all very excited. We're kind of in the pilot phase right now, but we're so looking forward to seeing the impact that we have on the kids that come to the center and the families.
Yeah, and doing it like this, I think, is really key because, like Catherine said, you may have a referral and then you have to wait and then you have to talk to someone. Well, just having it under one spot gives us the opportunity to say, we want to put a break into that trauma element. So you only have to tell your story once, and we're all here, and we're all prepared, and we're all ready. And I think that's one of the things about Beacon House is that we're prepared to do it. So when you walk in, we're ready. And I believe, I don't think the system's missing that, but I think the system misses that in one spot.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. So obviously, funding has to be coming from somewhere. So you've got your community partners. How has the community response been? And are you looking for more partners or more people to support the Beacon House?
Well, yes, absolutely. So we do have the backing of Justice Canada. So, and that takes care of a certain portion. But we really rely upon our, the community and the kindness of others, so to speak, to help us through it. So yes, we always welcome donations. It's one of the ways that we can continue to offer the service. 100% of everything that people contribute goes towards service delivery, doesn't go towards anything else. So it's really, for people out there who are looking to connect with something that is truly meaningful. I mean, I always like to ask the question, who's that person who doesn't want to stop the trauma of a young child? And if you connect with that in any way, then you can help us. And we would love it if you could, because it's an opportunity for us to do something better today to build a better tomorrow. So it's an opportunity for not only individuals, but for businesses. We look for furniture donations that would be, you could use in an office. We've had a lot of, I've taken a lot of calls and emails from people asking if they can donate bedroom furniture or dining room sets, and though that would be wonderful, we just simply can't accept those items. But small, clean, gently used sofas, chairs for waiting room space, or even brand new toys. We have an Amazon wish list that people connect with through. We have a Beacon House link on the beaconhouselondon.ca website, where people can get those sensory toys. And what we mean by that is they're toys that children can use, like fidget toys, fidget spinners, mazes, so that they can begin to use their brains in a different way as well while they're waiting, rather than just focusing on this is going to happen, this is going to happen. So it's a great opportunity for those who think, well, I don't want to give cash. Well, you can help in different ways as well, volunteerism too. So I don't know if there's anything else that we really need besides those items, but any help from anyone would be more than welcome.
Absolutely.
And so what kind of volunteer opportunities are there other than painting with me?
Other than painting.
Well, I tell you, I wish I had the opportunity to volunteer for that too, because I think that would have been great. But we are looking for advocates. We're looking for individuals who could potentially or have experience in this area who would like to volunteer their time. Anyone with this skill set. I think it's important for people to recognize that this skill set is very important. If you've worked with children in the past, they can feel free to reach out over, via the website or to me directly at the court clinic, and I'd be happy to engage in a discussion. We've had, I've probably fielded about a dozen to maybe 16 to 18 phone calls and emails from people asking to volunteer. So the uptake has been fantastic because people are connecting. And what something to connect to. It's just, I think it's empowering for a lot of people, because some people don't know how to help, and this is how you can do it.
All right, so that's your call to action, viewers. The Beacon House, amazing. It's an absolute privilege to be involved, and just to know that an organization like this is here in London and going to be serving our young people in the community for years and years to come. So thank you so much, Catherine. Thanks so much, Tuan, for being here. We're going to have to take another break, but we'll be back with a little bit more LdnOnt TV after this.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Favorite part of volunteering at Rogers has been picking up new tech skills like running cameras or graphics, and getting to volunteer with and meet people in a super fun sports-based environment.
I'm Jennifer Slay, the host of What's Up London. Join me each week as I meet Londoners who are doing extraordinary things and helping to make the city a better place to live. Watch What's Up London Mondays only on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to LdnOnt TV here on Rogers TV. We've been having a fascinating conversation with some wonderful people who are involved with the Beacon House, and we did talk about my artwork a little bit, but there is inspiration for the artwork that I've been working on with my volunteers, and the inspiration came from a fantastic art piece which was created by 10-year-old Emily, who is here with us in the studio with her mom, Catherine. So welcome to the show, Emily. Thank you for being here. Can you tell me a little bit about your artwork? So I know you said that you created it with your special markers. Did your mom tell you about what the Beacon House was all about, and then this just came to you?
Yes, so she wanted a lighthouse or a beacon house, and she wanted some waves and the ocean in the background. So I wanted to do like a heart for the waves to surround the beacon house.
It looks beautiful. So how long did that take you to make?
I just rushed through it in like 5 minutes.
You're kidding me. This is what you can do in 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Do I have a wall to fill for you? So what other types of art do you like to do?
I like to do people, and I like to do animals and scenery.
Do you like to do other things other than drawing? Do you like to paint or do sculptures?
I like to paint and draw mostly.
Nice. And so do you do a lot of artwork in school?
Yes, sometimes when we do it, everybody says mine is the best, and my friend Elena, she comes over to me and she says that she wants me to do the same thing that I did on my art and copy it on her art.
Really?
Yes.
So, well, one of the things about the digital world, right, it's just pretty easy to take pictures on your phone, so I bet you a lot of people are really looking to get some Emily Dan originals. What other things are you interested in? So, an artist, what other things do you like to do in school or outside of school?
Outside of school, I like to play baseball and play with my puppy. And inside of school, I like to do math.
Math. So you are kind of a athlete, artist, mathematician, and what do you think you want to do? I know it's early in your career, but are you thinking maybe artist someday, or maybe athlete, or where would you like to go with life?
Well, I might be an artist or a vet or a doctor.
Those are all great choices. And interestingly enough, you can actually be all those things. For example, so Catherine, when you saw the drawing, what did you think?
I know her artwork is always amazing, so I wasn't surprised, but I shared the image that she created with our committee, and everyone loved it, so that is what we created our logo off of for the Beacon House. So everyone was instantly wanting to use her photograph because it was, or her picture, because it was created by a child, and it's obviously well suited for the Beacon House since we are helping children.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. So I appreciate the inspiration. I know everybody that's been working on the mural with me has been just in love with your artwork. It's going to, I think a lot of people are going to see it, and it's going to mean a lot to a lot of people. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for sharing your gift of art. And I guess thank you for tuning in, because that's all the time we have for today. So we hope you've enjoyed this episode of LdnOnt TV here on Rogers TV. I'm your host, Bronagh. Emily, Catherine, thanks for being here too, and as well. And thank you, viewers. Hope you'll join us again next week.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Online betting is booming. Booyah! Woo! Oh yeah! You could win big! But you could also lose. There is risk with online gambling, and that's a reality nobody's shouting about. Learn about safer play at knowtherisks.ca.
Get ready to join Nats Nation. The London Nationals return to Rogers TV with nearly the full home schedule broadcasted live. With returning core players and coaching staff, you won't want to miss this team on their quest for a Western